I. Hi. I don't know why I said I. Well, I guess I was going to start my sentence, but I should say hi first. I want to talk about something that sounds way more egotistical than I intend it to be, so let's just get that out of the way early. Now, this isn't a story about how attractive I think I am, or how wise I became, or how people suddenly saw me as some kind of enlightened figure. If anything, it's about how embarrassingly easy it is to build an identity out of other people's reactions. I started growing my beard during a spiritual transformation. I was teaching meditation classes, facilitating breath work, doing the whole inner work thing. Around that time, I was talking to an old friend of mine, Alex, from when I lived in Thailand. We were talking about balance, about how different life felt after stepping away from a world built around professional violence. He said something that stuck with me. He told me that my emotional side had grown, and then he said my hair was beautiful, which made me pretty uncomfortable, but I appreciated it. And then he said I needed to grow my beard, or I'd never have balance. He had grown a full beard since the last time I'd seen him, when he was clean shaven. He said he didn't care anymore about people's assumptions about brown men with beards, that it was time to embrace his true nature. And then he said I wouldn't understand what he meant until I had one. I was mystified and honestly excited, which in retrospect should have been my first clue that ego was already involved. Growing the beard was a conscious spiritual act for me. It wasn't an accident or laziness. At the time, it felt symbolic, like marking a shift, but I didn't expect how confusing it would feel. I didn't really realize how attached I was to vanity. And yes, I know that sounds shallow, but I think pretending we're above that is even shallower. Would it be more shallow? Shallower? Shallower. I was attached to the compliments, to the charged interactions, to the flirty, mostly meaningless exchanges that quietly tell you that you matter. As the beard grew, those interactions faded, and I grieved them more than I expected to. Not necessarily because they were deep or meaningful, but they were easy. Something else replaced them. People started calling me sir. People asked me questions like I was suddenly a sage. Before that, I think I came across more like, I hate to say it, some kind of charismatic cult leader. With the beard, I became respectable, I guess. There was also suspicion, especially from people already primed to be suspicious of men who look like me. But I noticed something else too. I leaned into the new role. As the beard grew, so did my local following among seekers, meditators, and spiritual communities. I was in Arizona at the time. I started caring less about my appearance, less about posture, presentation, body language. The beard felt like a covering, a mask, a kind of way to soften myself without being seen too clearly. People I hadn't seen in a while didn't recognize me, and strangely, they treated me better when they didn't recognize me. I became more generous, more patient, more openly kind. I went from feeling like a chiseled figure on display to something more like a friendly, goofy Sasquatch. And I liked that version of myself. Eventually I shaved, not because of some spiritual revelation, but because airports exist. My passport photo didn't match anymore, and I started getting harassed based on what I think was beard length. So I shaved it. It felt wrong, physically wrong. I remember shivering while doing it, and I still don't know if that was from cold, anxiety, or something less visible. When I looked in the mirror afterward, I felt strange, like I was younger underneath the beard, like I'd uncovered an old version of myself I wasn't sure I wanted back. And the compliments came back immediately, the same kind of validation, the same shallow approval, and instead of enjoying it, it unsettled me. It forced me to see how much of my life had been shaped by vanity, how powerful it is, and how hard it is to quit. Both versions of me feel like masks now. The beard feels more comfortable, the clean-shaven face is more tempting. Being seen as young, vibrant, and attractive still pulls at me. Vanity is a hard drug to quit. If I could speak to it directly, I think I'd just say, please, leave me alone. I need to move on with my life. And if I'm honest about what I think God, or even my higher self, would say back, it wouldn't be comforting. It would probably say, I'm not leaving you until you understand that I'm unimportant, that I serve a very specific purpose. I think the clean-shaven version of me taught me that maybe my outside is beautiful, but the bearded version taught me that not everyone needs to see it. People project everything onto beards. In the West, danger. In the East, dignity. Sometimes I'm a sage, sometimes a suspect, sometimes neither. With a beard, people listen before I speak. Without it, I have to earn their attention. I think both things have something to teach. So beard versus no beard isn't really the question. They're both costumes, and they both work, and they both also fail. And somewhere underneath all of it is something that doesn't need to be seen at all. If this sounds egotistical, that's probably because ego is the subject, not the achievement. And maybe balance isn't choosing which face to show. Maybe it's being able to smile either way. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I hope you're having a good day.